Hello, I'm Mark.
Hello, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to be discussing the 1980 classic film Raging Bull, directed by Martin Scorsese. This is not only one of the greatest sports dramas of all time, but one of the best films ever made. It's a story about the famous boxer Jake LaMotta, and more or less his devolution as a character and his inevitable comeuppance towards the end. And I'm really happy we're talking about this movie.
I am too, Ryan. This is a special one for me. You know, Raging Bull was one of the first Scorsese movies introduced to me by my father. My father is 71 years old. He was born in 1951, and I think this movie was the first thing that really got me into Scorsese and got me into, like, oh, movies are pretty cool. And this is, you know, people talk about great movies and great, like, sports movies. I mean, I guess you could call this a sports movie, and I think it might be the greatest sports movie of all time, but really it's a human movie about a human story. I think that's really interesting and really kind of complex, but in a way that's done so beautifully. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love what you said about humanity, too. One of the things that Scorsese touches on that I love couldn't have been better in this film, or better exemplified in this film. What he finds more interesting than story is character.
Yes.
And this is probably one of the best character pieces, aside from Taxi Driver, another Scorsese film, where it really shows a complete sort of self-destructive nature that this person can be. Somebody who clearly was meant for great things and just completely sabotaged his entire life. I also have a personal connection with this too. It's one of the first films that made me realize movies are more than just entertainment. But not only that, my grandfather and both my grandparents, their neighborhood is actually a few blocks down from where Jake LaMotta used to live.
Wow.
And they actually were close by when they were filming scenes with Joe Pesci.
Wow.
So it's a little fun fact about the film.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they understand that world, and they get that world. And I, too, also think that world was really created special, and it was kind of interesting. Going off of that comment, my dad, there's a certain scene where Jake and Joey are talking to their wives. Joey's talking to his wife, Jake's talking to his wife. And it was right after Jake's wife talked about De Niro being really pretty. Yeah. Or just, like, not pretty, but she just made a comment like, hey, it's a good opportunity, he's good looking. And he was like, wait a second, we watched that scene, and with my dad there, my dad said that, man, like that right there, like that's what I grew up with, like the old Italians. Like it wasn't good, it wasn't a positive thing, but he's like, I feel like that type of behavior, that type of like the old like Italians, like that's what I grew up with, like that's it. And so the fact that Scorsese really went into that world and created it so like to a T was just really, really impressive and really, really cool to see, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And the best thing about that too, what you just said, is that the moments like those, for example, or the scene that gets to me, that really gets under my skin, is the scene where, spoilers, but the scene where LaMotta is thrown into prison, and he's just kind of stuck there in the darkness. This is like kind of not the thesis of the film, but it's everything that's been building up has led to this moment. And it's just him there struggling like a caged animal. It's like the title, Raging Bull. He's just stuck punching the wall, like this endless feud that's going on with him. And it was that moment, I can't remember, I was like 13 or 14, I saw this, I'm like, this isn't just acting, I believe that really is LaMotta just coming back to his younger self.
That scene's incredible. That scene's one of Robert De Niro's finest moments as an actor, period. And I think this
that's why he's the legend for moments like that.
Yep. So. Oh, 100%. I think this is one of his best performances. I think, obviously what he did with the weight gain was something very dangerous and probably, shouldn't be done. But I don't even look at, the weight gain as what made this performance great. I look at just what he did with the character, the little idiosyncrasies he had about Jake LaMotta, the little, just his inflection, his just every way in which he played the character, I thought was just so interesting to watch. I don't think there's a dull moment in this movie. And I know sometimes with biopics, sometimes people can say that, but no dull moment in this one, in my opinion.
No, I think it's tough where I can see the emotions being a bit grueling for some people, but I still think it really sticks the landing with the emotion and the performances in it.
I agree.
So,
I agree. And I give this movie a 10 out of 10. How about you, Ryan?
oh, I'm going to have to go 10. I can't think of anything wrong with it. So,
Absolutely.
there
Yes.
you go. Raging Bull.
Yes, that's our review. Thank you for watching.